Good afternoon. It's good to see you, everyone. I'm excited as you are to get into the Mexico market with our investment firm. So naturally, our meetings here in the next few weeks, we need to prep for those and what we're going to talk about today is how we're going to make that connection. So I'm here to share some best business practices in Mexico. So our agenda is an introduction to Mexico, good behavior in meetings, approach to disagreements, because every culture is different, and behavior during outings, such as dinners, lunches, things of that sort. So, an introduction to Mexico. As you know, Hispanics are very rich in culture and traditions. The official language is Spanish, but not necessarily you have to speak it, but it's always good to have a greeting of some sort, senor, senora, when you're in a meeting. You don't have to be fluent in Spanish, but that just shows a sign of respect. Um, so the culture, naturally, they're very sensitive to that, and recognizing that. And then, of course, patience goes along with that. So keeping that top of mind and understanding that there could be language barriers, for instance. So being patient, timely, taking the time to understand them builds that trust, which is that third bullet right there. And then now let's go into good behaviors in meetings. So behaviors in meetings here, face-to-face meetings are preferred. Relationships may take weeks or months to develop. So keep that in top of mind. Trust and loyalty, again, is a need there. The hierarchical structure is important to the Spanish culture, meaning a high power distance. So high power distance means that they don't necessarily respect title jumping, if you will. There's a hierarchy to meeting with the CEO, CFO. They would not respect us coming in and getting to know a direct report or individual contributor in their company just to get a meeting with the CEO, CFO. So we're expected to start at the C-suite and understanding them, their business, and then making our way to other departments. So understanding that is key here. Time orientation is also something to keep in mind. And what this means in this area is being punctual, right? Business meetings, it's not necessarily taboo to arrive late, but it's always good and punctual to arrive 5 to 15 minutes early. It's common. Of course, and then events and dinners, fashionably late is not a problem there. Most Spanish individuals will arrive late, so that's kind of acceptable in their culture. Flexibility is also valued here. So let's say we're on our way to dinner to meet the customer and something happens. It's okay. Communicate that, letting them know, and I'm sure they would respond with, please be safe. We'll see you soon. So understand they're not rigid, but being punctual is also professional, so respected at the same time. And then the last piece here is relationship building over time, which we talked about. So that building of relationship and trust is important. Expect some of the small talk during meetings, and that's that way to make that connection on a personal level, not just professional. So getting to know them, what they like to do, making that connection there. Do they have hobbies? What did they do over the weekend with their family and friends? That's important to them. The next approach to disagreement. So let's say we're in a meeting and we start disagreeing on whatever the negotiations are. What do? Take your time here. Avoid confrontations. Don't be aggressive or blunt. Respect the disagreement and avoid hard selling. Focus on the partnership there and the mutual benefit. Come to a resolution. It's okay. It's okay to disagree. So let's agree to disagree and find a solution, maybe not now, but at a later date. Written contracts are important, but verbal commitments carry weight for most Spanish individuals. So meaning that nonverbals, the facial gestures, your tone are very important in making that connection, and commitments are key. So be very cognizant of your behaviors and how you're moving, and your tone of voice doesn't come off bold and aggressive, but just calm in nature. If you have to slow down your speaking, that's okay too. Expect, like I mentioned earlier, the longer negotiations here, informal agreement processes, another form of relationship building as well. Okay, next is behavior during an outing. So They like to have fun. Most Hispanics like to have a good time. They like to party. So having a good time is good for them. It makes them comfortable being there in the moment and getting to know them. Again, relationship building and trust and loyalty is important there. So always get a firm handshake, have direct eye contact, that warm smile, start with pleasantries like I had discussed, making that connection with their family and their cultures, not necessarily business all the time. And then I also have a note here on collectivism. That's also important. And what that means is that their behaviors is a displaying of collectivism, which is the good of the group before people's individual interest. So they respect the interest of the group or the collective versus an individual's interest. That's another form of building that trust and respect for one another, the golden rule of life, if you will. You all know that very well. All right, so thank you for your time. This is basically wrapping us up in the best business practices in Mexico. I look forward to joining you on our visit in the market here in a few weeks. If you need me, here's my contact information. Thank you for your time and have a good day.